There's a growing number of NRIs who are embroiled in legal disputes over ancestral land and properties with their relatives in India. Co-ownership of land with the relatives in India. Does this complicate issues if NRIs find themselves in disputes with people who are currently in possession of land or property?
Yes, Noreen. In fact, most of the people that have come to us are feeling the heat of problems in India is because of co-ownership. So let me explain this. Basically, co-ownership means an ancestral land coming down to all the siblings, and all those siblings become co-owners. So that's called co-ownership of land. Now, ideally, in a family unit, there can be a family agreement, but as we know how our Indian families are, how our Eastern families, how our South Asian families are, they never agree, and most of the disputes happen because of co-ownership. How can it be solved? One of the focal services of our organization is partition. The only way to resolve co-ownership is to file a legal partition for land and property. There are a lot of myths that I would like to dispel. Number one, partition can be filed by any one co-owner, irrespective of whether the other co-owners agree to the partition or not. More or less, the only difference is that if they do not agree, it will be called contested partition. And if they all agree for partition, it will be called uncontested partition. So the only difference between contested and uncontested is that in an uncontested partition, the time taken to resolve the partition suit is much less, and in an uncontested one, the other party tries to delay, and this is that party that actually is the one who does not want the partition. And normally in so many cases that we see that these are the people who've got the control of the land or the house, and they do not want to give away that control, and they kind of make sure that the partition doesn't happen. But partition is a legal process. Every person who owns a property in India can go to the court and ask for partition. There is nothing that anyone can stop him from getting a partition done. It's a legal right, it's a constitutional right. If you have jointly inherited a property, you can get it demarcated, you can get a separate possession, a separate control. In fact, it resolves dispute because it actually kind of cleans out all the mess. Everybody gets access to their properties cleanly, legally, and they can do what they want to. So partition is a very, very important step that is needed by anyone who owns property in India, and this is something that you must exercise if you are indeed a property owner and a joint property owner. Partition can be done without you actually having to travel to India. You can actually have your legal representatives engage a legal representative to represent you in a partition suit, and it can all be done without you actually really having to go there physically.
If you are facing challenges with property law in India, NRI Legal Services can always provide you with free initial legal consultation. Get in touch with them today at www.nrilegalservices.com.